to Relay.
Oh, of course. Of course, it changed everything after I made everything look nice. Hey there, Sardareth.
I'm sorry.
How's it going?
Oh, that's weird. Oh, there we go.
Oops. There we go. I prepped everything and then it like changed things on me because that's just what happens to me now.
Apparently. Also, I'm not Jake. I mean,
yeah, I didn't.
I mean, I kind of want to be, but
Yeah.
work at CIG, but I'm not.
That's changed. Done. Okay. Yeah, we are live. Sardareth, that sounds great.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so everybody, we're doing an early relay station today. It's also gonna be shorter than usual because we're going to roll basically almost directly into doing a bunch of coverage of E3 Summer Games Fest stuff. Specifically, I think today we're gonna cover Devolver Digital and Ubisoft.
I think so, and I think I saw there might be some Gearbox stuff too. I don't know. I haven't really had time to do the research yet, to be honest.
After we do the Star Citizen stuff, we're going to shut down the stream and then bring Jake the Snake. Wait, no, that's the wrong Jake. Jake Acapella on board, and we're gonna jump right into games coverage.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, technically, we're covering a video game now as well, but
Well,
just a different one.
Is it a video game though, or is it a universe simulation?
It's a video game. All of this is a universe simulation. Star Citizen is a video game within the universe.
Thanks, All right, should we jump into show and tell?
No. Because I had a dream like 2 days ago.
This can be a speech?
And in the dream... No, it's not a speech. It's a dream.
Okay.
In the dream, I was playing Star Citizen, which is not something I've dreamt of in a long, long time. But I was playing Star Citizen. And I was flying the Crusader Ares, which is a ship I very much want now.
Yeah.
I love it. I want that ship so badly. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to get it. But I need it. It is everything I want. Anyway, and then I was playing and I was shooting stuff and it was great. And then I was like, in the dream, I was like, you know what? I should probably learn to fly the Freelancer because I've got one. It's the first ship I ever bought. I should start flying it. And then I woke up and the dream was over. That's all. I had a dream about playing Star Citizen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The Ares Starfighter, I think, is easily one of the best ships in Star Citizen at this point. And it's not even done.
Yeah.
I was listening to... I was on the Bar Citizen earlier today. A lot of people were calling out that ship. I mean, besides the obvious ones, there was a whole lot of Endeavors and Carracks flying around.
So much Endeavor. I was on at the beginning of it, and then at the very end.
But a few people really called out the Ares Starfighter, including our illustrious Mr. Acapella.
Yeah. But one, is there anyone else watching that really wants that ship? And two, what I want to know is, which variant do you go for? Do you go for the physical or the
I have a strong aversion to guns that in space that run out of ammo, especially when they're basically your only weapon. So I'm gonna go with the laser cannon, the Ares Ion. No, but I think in that case, what you're gonna find, and this is just a suspicion of mine, I don't have any inside info, but I think the way that they're gonna balance that, because it will probably need a tiny bit of balance, is I think that a large laser cannon like that is gonna put a lot of pressure on your power plant.
Yeah.
And I think that it's going to be more likely that your power plant will just fail or start to die or wear down, or start having issues.
Or you might just
with
lose.
weapon
You
like
might
that.
just lose shield efficacy while firing.
Yeah.
Right. I
There's
personally.
a lot of it, basically probably like 90% of the power in that ship is going to go into that size 7 cannon.
I think I'm the other way. I don't mind running out of ammo. I don't like laser weapons, just in general. I like physically shooting a projectile. So anyway, I love it.
And
I want it.
those two ships together, like if you had an Ion and what is the other one called? The Inferno, or what is the
Inferno.
other vehicle? Yeah, that's the Inferno. If you had one of each in like just a 2-person squad, you would just rip ships apart. Like seriously.
Sargrath, I love that. That's amazing. Noskavian, I hope that the Inferno does have a ton of ammo because it's gonna need it. But yeah, I keep thinking about the Ares. It keeps being the ship that I think about and want, and I can't. I can't step away from my desire for that ship. It's probably the ship that I want most in Star Citizen right now. Within reason. Like, I want my Endeavor, but I want an Ares, you know?
Yep. Absolutely. I'm having a bit of a moment because I've always wanted to have a combat ship. My combat ship currently is the Vanduul Harbinger. Or not Vanduul, sorry. Vanguard. Vanguard
Okay.
Harbinger.
Yep. That's not terribly combat. I mean, it is, but it's...
Well, it's a missile. It's a missile ship, and it's supposed to be point of the spear, first one in. You know,
I always feel like it's point of the spear, first one in, distract things, and then run away.
Get the hell out. Yeah, because you're gonna take so much damage. That's the whole point of it, is that it's able to take a huge amount of damage up front and then still get away because it has all those dual redundant systems. They wanted it to be like all of those planes that would come flying back in World War II, all full of holes and like bits hanging off of them, and still able to land.
Yeah.
And I found that appealing, but I'm still not entirely sure if I won't just swap that for an Ares, because that also really appeals to me with the basically sniper rifle with wings.
Yeah.
Now, so, I don't know.
One thing I do want to see though is how hard it's going to be to hit something with that.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
If you do hit something, it's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt, but like, how hard is it going to be to actually...
Those are capital class weapons on a fighter. Like,
I know.
They're probably ships you can destroy in one shot.
Yeah. Noskavian, I'm right there with you. Endeavor's my favorite, and the Ares is the combat ship that I want most. Next time it goes up for sale, it's gonna happen.
You weren't around for my introduction on the Bar Citizen, but I said Endeavor is the ship I'm looking forward to most because the game will be done.
Yeah. I didn't do an introduction on the Bar Citizen, but I was thinking of what I would do. I had to leave before I could, but
you got a couple call-outs there while you were gone.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, just from Jake and from me for
Thank you.
who you are and that you were there and you had to leave and that type of
Babies, children require care.
stuff. Care and attention. Yes.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about the questions though. So there was a Bar Citizen earlier, organized by the Soul Citizen folk, Fastcart and Griff, and Stim Citizen was doing a lot. There were a whole bunch of people there. It was pretty good. I caught sort of the the very beginning and the very tail end, but the questions that they asked in the beginning were, what is your favorite currently flyable ship? And what is the ship you want most? Like your favorite ship. And the Endeavor is my favorite ship idea. We're going to have to see what happens when it actually happens, because there have been ships that I've loved in theory and didn't like in practice, and those that I loved in practice but didn't like in theory. Anyway, but I was thinking about it, and my answer for favorite flyable ship would be none of them. I don't like.
You don't like your Reclaimer?
Not to fly it.
Yeah, but that's not what the question was. Can you fly it? Yes. Do you like it? Yes. Then that's your favorite playable ship.
But it's not, because I look at the Reclaimer and it's like, yeah, it's flyable, but I can't do anything with it, and I hate.
No, I see what you're saying.
Like, yeah, it's flyable technically, but if I can't do something,
it's a really
with
good
it,
experience right now. It has been for a long time. Is the 300 series?
Yeah.
They're so much fun to fly, and they have been for so long. Ever since they did the rework on it, it's been fantastic. Plus, mine is now black and purple.
Nice.
Because I did the full customization.
So
on it.
Niskavian is saying for the Ion, it's
38 shots per minute.
38 shots a minute, 3 shots every 2 seconds ish.
If it's 38 shots per minute, then it should be. I don't think your calculations are right there in Niskavian. Shouldn't that be
1 shot every 2 seconds?
Yeah, 1 shot every. A little more than 1 shot every 2 seconds. Yeah. So. Honestly, I mean that's kind of what I always figured. It's not going to fire quickly. You need to. It's a sniper rifle. You gotta aim.
Yeah.
And explode.
Also, Niskavian, I'm going to 100% agree with you on the hangar module. Every single Endeavor should have a hangar module, period.
Honestly, the Endeavor's going to see a massive change once it's actually made, because a lot of the game systems will probably be done by the time they're building it, and the game will have changed so much from when they designed it.
And that's something that I see all the time. People being like, "Where's my ship? Where's my ship? Where's my ship? I want this ship. I want this ship." And I just keep looking at them and being like, "Stop! Like, what are you going to do right now with your ship? Nothing, because there's not really anything to do with it in the game. Quite frankly,
especially a ship like the Orion, even like the Orion. There's mining in the game, but the type of mining that the Orion does is not in the game.
So what do you do with an Orion?
So
nothing.
What are you going to do with an Orion? I mean, now at least they could potentially put it in the game, because it also can't land.
Yeah.
So they can spawn it because they have docking ports.
But I hate that the Freelancer was done in like 2014 and hasn't changed.
They did a whole rework.
They did a rework once, but it wasn't really a rework. They made it fractionally bigger and got rid of the entrance from underneath. Like it didn't get a rework in the same way as like the Cutlass got a rework.
Yeah, I know. I expect the Freelancer will get a full rework in the future.
I do as well.
Honestly, all of the really early ships are going to see a lot of polishing up towards the end. But at least the Freelancer is flyable. Like, you can use it. I used it.
You can, but
it
it's
works.
a pain to fly. It's got such horrible view.
I don't think that's changing.
Anyway, the longer we wait for your ship, the better that ship is gonna come out. That's where I keep sitting. It's the longer you wait until you get until
Like,
your ship is in game.
You wouldn't want them to make the Pioneer right now.
It's, you know what? Very, very good example. How good were the first Teslas? The first Tesla Roadsters?
They're okay.
They're okay.
Yeah.
But you'd much
They're okay.
rather have like a Model S Plaid right now.
They kind of had to do the like CIG style rework on them. Their whole battery got swapped a couple times.
Yep.
To upgrade them. But yeah, I know. I see what you're saying. Yeah, the early vehicles that they made were not the best, and now they're making probably what will be one of the best cars in the world.
Yeah.
Like in every way.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's I agree. That's very similar. You're gonna see, well, even now, like the ships they produce now are excellent, just straight up.
So good.
Yeah.
You know what? And let's just move right into talking about one of those ships, because why did it do this?
Oh man.
There. Let's move right into talking about one of those ships, because oh wait, no, that's culture. I don't want culture. 1 second.
Whoa, your camera thing is messed up. Oh no, you fixed it very quickly.
Where is? There it is.
There's three, I think,
Yeah.
3 clips of the Raylan.
Let's talk about this thing, the Raylan.
The Gatak Raylan.
Hey, look at this thing.
Yeah.
I love that it's like shimmery
so
purple.
cool. Yeah.
Such a damn cool ship. I also love that they seem to be firing like 1 million missiles at that caterpillar. I love that in that concept art. But this ship is nuts. It's the detail on it is outstanding. It looks like an alien ship.
Absolutely. I really, really liked this design. I thought it was really interesting and kind of ingenious of them to decide to kind of take more of a hull route with this ship and have all the cargo be exterior.
Yeah.
I really like that. It's a really cool decision. And
Well,
and also they explained like the pros and cons of that, where it's easier for pirates to access your like cargo. They can blow it off
Yep.
your ship. But it comes with a much more compact and ship and more maneuverable, and yeah. No,
I also hope it means that one of the things they talked about a long time ago, and they've probably talked about it since, is the idea that if you do get attacked by pirates, you can jettison a bunch of those cargo pods. And like, because they're external, you can just jettison a bunch of them, and hopefully the pirates will just take the easy win rather than the fight,
Yep.
It also makes the ship inside huge. There was a cutaway at one point of like the interior. It's a big ship.
Yep. It is very, very large.
Yeah.
And this is not. I don't think this is the big Xi'an cargo ship. There was an old concept. It's actually kind of funny because some of the stuff is really close to. A lot of their concepts for the Xi'an architecture actually have stayed quite similar over the years. But there's an old concept piece of a absolutely cavernous, gigantic cargo ship from the Xi'an, which I think is still coming.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably get. So one of the things that's really exciting about this actually is that this is a new. Not just that this is a new alien ship, but this is a new alien ship from a new alien manufacturer. Lots of times in video games, you see the alien race is like, this is the alien ship. They have this alien ship and this alien, but it's these are the alien ships, and there's no. That's one of the things that's so exciting about Star Citizen. Really, is that like Sherry was talking about on Inside Star Citizen. They have a whole history of how this company came to be and why they make things. Like, there's something there for everything, and this is not the same manufacturer as does the other Xi'an ships, right? It's completely different. So
Now, can you pronounce that manufacturer's name?
no. But you actually touched on something that I also want to talk about, because you're talking about how the architecture and how it sort of looks the same as the concepts, and the Xi'an architecture is very striking, as is their tech. And
Yep.
this is something that I think CIG have really, really missed on, is that lots of MISC ships, MISC in lore, MISC has a partnership with Xi'an for Xi'an tech, and they were supposed to use a whole bunch of Xi'an tech in the Freelancer. So I'm actually really disappointed that the Freelancer, like, I hope they redo the Freelancer and have it take some more cues from the Xi'an style, because like I would really like to see a more of a hybrid mix between Xi'an and MISC architecture, because you can identify a MISC ship from 1,000 yards away, and you can a Xi'an ship as well. And I'd love to see the two architectures married a little bit, even if it was just that the, like, you look at the chairs in the Gatak, they're floating. Right, they're using something that the Xi'an are extremely well known for, which is their gravity tech. The chairs are sitting there floating. Well, why don't they do that with the chairs in the Freelancer?
Agreed.
You know,
Especially because this ship is specifically designed by Gatak to be an interspecies ship. Like, it's designed to be either Xi'an or human. So I could definitely see MISC coming at that from the human side of things and having more. Yeah, I could definitely see that, and I agree. I do think that they kind of lost that vein with the Freelancer a little bit, especially with the rework.
Yeah.
And I do think when they revisit it again, that they should think a little bit more about that. Also, I love with the panels on the sides. Notice this all the time with Xi'an Tech. Or the panels like build themselves, and they have like tons of animations around how they were put together. It's so cool. And this is all using the they actually talked about this in this episode, but the Xi'an basically perfected anti-gravity tech.
Yep.
So they do a lot of fun tricks with anti-gravity.
Was there a third one? Oh, there it is. Sorry.
It'd be Rylan 1, 2, and 3?
Yep, I found it. I'm bad at looking at stuff. Yeah, no,
it's the one that I'm sorry, I'm ahead of you.
Yeah.
There we go. Kind of Gatak.
I love how it lands too.
Yep.
It's kind of funny because I feel like when landed, it actually looks most like the Banu Defender. The two arms sort of come down and form this like landed posture that is very similar to the Banu Defender, even though the Defender is a lot more flowy and this is a lot more like solid. Still super cool.
And I really like to see that they're, even from the initial concepts, their like artistic vision of the ship is very consistent. They're like, this is what we're making.
Yeah.
Little variations here and there, but you know.
Or like the floaty turrets. Those floaty turrets look so cool. Give the Freelancer those floaty turrets on its bottom turret.
Definitely.
Like, I love this ship. It's great.
One of the reads I got off of it right at the beginning, and Jake gave me thumbs up for this. It's not like a really strong read, but it's a small one. Are the ships from Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one?
Yeah.
I really It's a small read,
the
but I
Nova
definitely
Core,
got that. Yeah, the Nova Core ships.
Yep. Another thing I actually
And,
just noticed is, again, I'm going to tie everything back to the Freelancer because I want the Freelancer to be better, but the thrusters. So one of the things, again, about the Freelancer and the Cutlass, actually, was that initially I think the Cutlass, I could be wrong on this one, but at least the Freelancer, initially the thrusters, the two big side thrusters, were supposed to pivot.
Yep.
Which you can see that on the Gatak,
the game engine hated it.
The game engine hated it, but I mean, clearly they've got something figured out because on the Gatak they do, even if it's just when it's in landing form.
Oh yeah.
Give me one sec, Bri. Post away. Yeah. No. That's exactly it. But
Yeah.
that's exactly
absolutely.
what the Banu Defender looks like as well when it's landed.
Mhm.
Like they both look exactly like an ape that's just like ka-thunk.
Exactly.
Like he was just
Yeah, no,
up
I
and
agree.
like pounding on his chest, and then he lands and he's just boom and looks at you. I love it.
Yep. You notice
That's
how
great.
much more comfortable they're getting with ship animations too, with the last two ships?
So
Lots
many
more
animations. The animations, like
amazing
it's
animations.
it's actually really funny. Like I'm thinking about like good animations in video games, and I always come back to first person shooters, and a lot of things that they do with animations in FPSs that are really cool is all around reloading.
Mm-hmm.
And like weapon animations and making like, and I've always thought it was really really cool, right? Like you've got all these different weapon animations that can look really really cool in various games, and now I'm looking at this and it's like it's like they're doing weapon animations but cooler and at 1,000 times the scale. You know?
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
it's nuts. The landing animation, the way all the consoles build themselves, the way the floors are going to open up, like everything about it is just insane, and I love it. The Skavian, yes, the Xi'an ships are supposed to have much more nimble thrusters because their thrusters they pivot, and you can actually see it in some of the images of the Katak. How that's gonna pan out in flight, especially for this, which is a very large ship, we'll have to see. But again, that's what I wanted for the Freelancer. The Freelancer was supposed to have some of that nimbleness from the
it was
the Xi'an partnership on their engines. Quite frankly.
Yeah. I also think. So what I think you're going to find is that I suspect this ship will be more nimble than, say, a human-built cargo ship. Which is going to have some interesting advantages to it, especially since you basically have those huge wings in the front as kind of like a physical shield to guard your cargo. I'm curious to see how people fly this thing.
I have a feeling it's not going to fly very well in Atmo, just because there's going to be so much resistance on those.
So terrible.
But one of the things, like if you think this is about equivalent in carrying capacity to like a Hull C, correct?
Yep.
A Hull C is a long boy.
Yep.
It's going to take, like, if you want to turn a Hull C, it's going to take it's not going to be at all a nimble ship. This, between the maneuvering thrusters and it being a lot more compact, I can see this thing maneuvering just like 1,000 times better than a Hull C.
I have a picture to drop into chat.
Do it.
Mm.
I'm gonna move us on. There wasn't too much else, but there were. Or wait, let's look at the picture.
It gives you a good idea of how ridiculously huge this ship is.
Jeez, which hull is that?
That's the hull B, I believe.
Okay, the B. Yeah, the Gatak is just massive.
Yeah, I originally thought that was the hull C, but it's not. The hull C is much larger than that.
Yeah.
But it's just huge. It's huge in different dimensions than the hull C will be. The hull C is really long.
Mm-hmm.
The Raylan is just big.
Well, and the interesting thing about the Raylen is so much of that is living space because all the cargo is on the outside. I'm wondering with something like the Hull C, because you've got the like the ship part at the front and then the giant corridor, which is going to be basically empty.
Nothing. Yeah.
And then the engines at the very back. Like I feel like there's not going to be as much livable space in something like the Hull C as there is in the
I don't think it. Well, yeah. I think if I don't think that they're really designed for much crew. The hulls. I'm trying to remember now. Do you remember what the crew complement is on a hull?
I do not remember.
I'm gonna go check right now.
Yep. And Noskavian, you might be right. I'm just saying that because CIG have put so much work into ships behaving based on their actual aerodynamics, I do wonder how much that's going to affect this. I hope that their anti-grav tech can help, because if not, this thing's going to be brutal in ammo.
So interesting. I don't know if that's right or not. So, the cargo capacity was a little off with the comparison there. There's also a reason that in that image that there's a hull B beside it. It has about the same cargo capacity as a hull B.
Oh, okay.
C. Very important. I was wondering, because I didn't remember the hull C being that small. To give you an idea of the difference in the size, the hull B has 384 SCU currently. It hasn't been updated in a couple years. The hull C cargo capacity is 4,600 SCU.
All right.
Or 12, what's that? No, more than that. 15 times.
How many people for a hull C?
For a hull C, 2.
So
Max 4.
The Gatak is likely to still have a larger person.
Oh, I think it's probably similar because the Gatak is max 4, just like the hull C is. But minimum is 2 for the hull C.
I feel like that's gonna have to change because I'm just imagining 2 people on a hull C with 4,600 SCU of cargo.
You're gonna want 4.
You're gonna
need the protection.
You're gonna want people flying around you.
Well, and you're gonna want people in your turrets. Never mind.
Yeah.
Like at all times.
Noskavian, it might be using the old cargo metrics. I don't know if that's been updated or not.
That's my question too. But the thing is, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where the hulls are at with cargo, but that's what the ship matrix says.
Well, we should be able to find out somewhat soonish as they're going to start
Hull C is coming
on it. So
fairly soon. Yeah, all the hulls are coming fairly soon.
All right. What else they did in this week's ISC was they talked. Really interesting talk just about the different cultures. I really like that the Banu are huge fans of sports, and they don't care. I love this because that's like this is how I feel about sports. Like I watch hockey, and I'm watching it. Like I've got a team that I would like to win, but if they don't win, I don't care. As long as it's a fun game to watch, I'm happy. And it sounds like that's really the Banu as well. They're like, no, we just want to see cool shit. I love that.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool note for the species.
Yeah. Which
I
of
really love that they. I love that they pulled out this clip too from the earlier video.
yeah. Which of them was your favorite to hear about?
Of the alien races?
Yeah.
Probably the Tavaran. I thought I really find like Sherry was saying, I find that the situation they're in is very interesting in the game, and they have a lot of potential for creating story around that and creating interesting characters around that. Because the Tavaran are a defeated species, right? And they, well, even more to the point, they surrendered.
Yeah.
And they also willingly surrendered their language and culture. To the point where the UEE actually went, hey, wait up, we're going to actually preserve some of this.
And I find that's a detail that I thought was really, really interesting, especially with lots of what's been going on now, where we've seen conquering, straight up, we've seen historically that, the conquering culture just wipes out and suppresses everything about the culture that they conquered. And it's horrible. We've lost just so much history and culture and knowledge that I really like that they added that in, that like even though they won, the UEE still kept,
they put in an effort to maintain that culture.
And I think that's a really, really, I don't know, I love that note. I think
there's a lot of hints in the lore that the Tavaran are going to see a resurgence of some kind.
Yes.
Now, what that actually, and they of course had the huge milestone of where they got their first senator, in the UEE.
I seem to remember there being lore of there being like giant Tavaran weapons that were never found. Like
the thing that had happened, and this is the big story note going into like the main body of the campaign, and I think that we're going to have to explore, is they found a ship manufacturing plant, basically an old Tavaran ship manufacturing plant that is suddenly being used again. Somebody is making Tavaran ships, with the not the Asperia ones that are like human design knockoffs, but the actual Tavaran ships. And they basically they didn't find anybody there, but they found this like factory that had obviously been used recently to make these ships. So it's leading into this possible underworld rebellion type of thing going on to potentially liberate the Tavaran from the UEE, and I find that the whole story arc is very interesting.
Squadron 42-2.
Yeah, right.
The return of the Tavaran. And then Squadron 42-3, we finally find out what pushed the Vanduul into UEE space.
See, what I think they should do is actually push it further than that. So unless they change the name of it, the Squadron 42-2 is called Behind Enemy Lines, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
What I think they should do is that the first trilogy should be about the Vanduul War, and I think because they had always talked about after we do the trilogy, we're going to continue to make single player games.
Yeah,
I think after that they should make a single player game focused on the Tavaran, and you are a Tavaran, and that's how they introduce you being a Tavaran as a playable character into Star Citizen. I think that would be really cool.
I love that idea. Hang on, I'm being delivered. Am I being delivered anything from this?
Yeah, cheeseburger.
Oh, cheeseburger.
Yeah.
This box is amazing.
Yeah.
Hang on, sorry, I'm being delivered food.
You're very lucky.
I know. It's like
I had to.
oh, it's a McDonald's DC Happy Meal box, and I love it.
Awesome.
What was I saying? I was about to say something.
I don't know. It's about the Tavaran, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, true.
I was talking about making a single-player game
Yes,
after the trilogy about Tavaran. Yeah.
What I would actually really like to see, and this is something that we've actually discussed on various relay stations in the past, I would love to see after the trilogy them make something that isn't a first-person flying shooter thing. Like, I would love to see the downfall of the Tavaran, but told from an RTS perspective.
We could see that.
You know?
But, I mean, redoing the engine so that it can be...
Yeah.
You can play it as an RTS would be pretty hard. No, but if anybody can do it, they have the people in Germany to do it.
They can do it. Like,
But I just love the Tavaran are an avian species, and I love their ships. Their ships really call that out so much, and they're so cool. The Prowler is just, oh man, amazing.
That's another thing. I'm really excited. We're now seeing more Xi'an ships. I'm really excited to start seeing more Tavaran ships. Like, let's get more.
Yes.
Okay.
But my question is, can they even do like a Tavaran ship until the main game? I don't think they really can. Not in the same way. Unless unless before the game comes out, they push forward that bit of lore about the weapons factories coming online again. But, or not weapons, sorry, the ship factories. But I could certainly see Asperia pulling out another, say, 2 or 3 designs from the archive for Tavaran ship. Now, the Vanduul looks so good now. My God.
They really do.
There's such a terrifying note in here, and you can just see where they're going to take it to. They made sure to mention that the Vanduul can survive brief periods in the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they're going to jump off their ship and come and kill me with a spear right through my cockpit, aren't they?
Yep. Absolutely, 100%. That's what they're going to do.
That first
And I'm in
shot,
for it.
the first shot with the title screen and everything, with the Vanduul fleet coming in, is so awesome.
Yeah.
Such a cool shot.
And you got to think, that's Squadron 42 right there.
That's a shot that was at least designed for Squadron.
This right here is Squadron,
Probably.
right?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, Vanduul are cool.
They sure are.
Just for everyone that's like, where's Squadron? We want to see Squadron. Where's Squadron? That's Squadron.
Yeah. A very tiny piece of Squadron, yes.
Yeah. Then we've already talked a fair bit about the Xi'an, but
We got the not so subtle hint that they poop out of their mouths.
Yep.
Which is fun.
It's interesting because you'd think that it would be the Tavaran that do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they do like to go away from the obvious, I guess.
Yeah.
More great looks at Xi'an ships.
Miss Scabian, pretty sure there is a Vanduul. Yeah, like the giant torpedo things that hit your ship and drill in and open your ship to the vacuum of space. And you're screwed, but they're not. Anyway,
that's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. Good episode. Really like to hear more about the alien races.
I love
hope-
to see Sherry talking about the game because she knows so much.
And we don't see Sherry often,
I know.
but between her and Dave Haddock, and like, that was a good episode. And yeah, I like learning more about the aliens. I hope that we get some more alien races as well. Like,
You mean fully featured alien races?
no, I hope we get some more like background support. Like, look at Star Trek. What are the main alien races? You've got the Klingons,
Romulans.
Ferengi, sort of, depending on which Star Trek you're watching.
Yeah, Ferengi started out as a background and then moved more into the mainstream with DS9.
Yeah, but
The Borg are a huge one. But really, then there's like dozens of like species that are and I should say the Vulcans as well. They're prominently in the series. But then there's dozens of species that have part roles.
yeah, and I want to see
little
more
bits
of
and pieces.
those.
Now, do you want those to be? See, this is what I'm wondering. Do you want them to have ships? Do you want them to be spacefaring, or do you want them to be like random species you run into on the surface of planets?
I think there should be one random species. I'm hoping that we do run into planets with, even if there's just one or two or three in the verse, I hope that we do encounter at some point less technical, like less advanced races.
Yeah, I
right?
agree.
It's cool that we've got, 4 spacefaring races, but is there anyone that's further back? I really like, and one of my favorite races ever. Crap, I gotta find their names. What are they called? Just a second. This could take me.
what
The
universe?
Elcor. The
Yes, the
Elcor from
Elcor,
Mass
excellent.
Effect. They are
Correct.
100% a background race.
Mhm.
But they are so cool.
Yep.
Right? And I feel like Star Citizen could have that and should have that. This background race that matters.
I
But,
expect
like,
they will.
Yeah.
Once they get more, it's gonna come later, right? Because
Yeah.
the main races have to be done.
Yes.
You have to finish the Xi'an. You have to finish their architecture and their ships and their weapons. You got to finish the Banu and the Vanduul. And somebody has to take a shot at actually figuring out what the fuck the Kurthak are.
Yep.
And then,
Yeah.
And then you can go into making all these minor races. You could maybe give them a hand. Like, you could have a few starfaring ones that have a few cities here and there and a handful of ships.
Yep.
But I think that will come down the line when their pipelines are all like super robust and
Yeah.
they can do it quickly. Right now, everything is, especially for aliens, I think is fairly manual. But I think one thing that will help with that is their creature pipeline. Like, once they're making lots of flora or lots of fauna, I should say.
Yeah.
I
They'll
think
be able
that
to
making-
adapt and make more easily.
Yeah, making other creatures with different skeletons will be way easier than it is right now.
Oh my goodness, Bar
Oh,
Citizen raid. Hey, Bar Citizens.
Oh, we're coming to the end of
yeah,
Star Citizen stuff. Not quite there yet, but
not quite, but I do want to say yes, I do want underwater aliens.
yes.
Just gonna throw it out there. Some of my favorite aliens of all time are the crap. I don't even remember their names. What are their bloody names? The Gungans.
Oh yeah.
I love the Gungans and I love Jar Jar Binks, unapologetically. So hate me all you want. I love Jar Jar. Straight up, I'd love some underwater aliens, but yeah, what was I gonna say? No, what I'd really like to see, and it's something that they hey Jake, one of the things that they talked about in this, yeah, the static. Sorry, I can probably turn that down now. It's the baby monitor, because baby. Um, One of the things they talked about in this week's ISC again is that first contact with the Xion, and that first contact, like they make a point of mentioning the first contacts each time, right?
Mm-hmm.
How amazing would it be for CIG to at some point add a new alien race?
I think they will.
Have the first contact be an actual person, and we really hope it's not like Figure Blaster 71 or something. But I think that would be cool.
Woo. Yeah.
Yes, Jake. Jake, can I help you?
I do think that.
I don't know
creating-
where that came from, Jake. I'm sorry. It's the first thing that came to mind.
I do think that that is a really good idea, and it's definitely something that they will probably do. Is because they've talked a lot, and everybody wants those uncharted star systems, right, for exploration content. I think that they should go that extra mile, and you go into the system and you're like, oh, this is an unexplored system. Nobody's been here. And you fly in there and there's like fucking space stations. You're like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah. I think that would be great. I love it.
Yeah. I think that that would be really good. And also even less, difficult technically for CIG, but even like, you go into the system, there isn't anything, but then when you go search all the planets, you find like some less technologically advanced creatures. And yes, you have time to pee, Jake. So I figure, well, what do you think? 10 more minutes, then we'll shut her down and then start up with games?
Something like that. I don't see any questions. If anyone has any questions, throw them in chat. For anyone that doesn't know the plan tonight, we're doing about an hour of Star Citizen, which we're just about at that hour, and then we're going to go back and rewatch some of the basically the E3 content from earlier this week. There's Ubisoft and Devolver Digital and possibly Gearbox. I don't know what we're watching. We're going to figure it out live because that's how we roll. You know what, Kimmy? I don't play Star Citizen.
You do sometimes.
I do sometimes.
You're just a liar.
And you know what I finally did? I hadn't done this since I got my new PC, but I brought my HOTAS out of storage and I found it room on my desk. My HOTAS is now on my desk, and I'm going to, at some point, in some indeterminate point in the future, hop into Star Citizen a bit.
You should.
The Scavian E3 isn't really a thing. This is Summer Game Fest, but the term still means something. I think there's still an E3, but it matters less than whatever Jeff Keighley wants.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we're gonna go do those shows. We're doing a whole bunch of content tomorrow around these. What is tomorrow? Xbox,
Xbox, Bethesda.
Xbox, Bethesda are the big ones. But yeah, we're doing a bunch of coverage tomorrow. I think that starts fairly early, doesn't it?
I've got that. I had that somewhere. Let me see if I can find that.
There is there's
tomorrow.
The rumor.
1 p.m. Eastern, Xbox and Bethesda, and 3:15 Square Enix.
Okay, so 11 o'clock my time.
Yeah,
cool. So I'm gonna do my absolute best to be here tomorrow. I'm assuming I will be, but of course I just got my second dose of Pfizer, and for most people I've heard, it tends to. Yeah, thank you. It does
Way to go,
tend
vaccines.
does tend to wear you down a bit. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm basically gonna park myself in this chair and cover game stuff tomorrow, unless I can't get up. But
Yeah.
you know,
Which we understand.
But
Noskavian, we're going to talk about that stuff in just a
now-
moment, and Kenny, because I want to talk
any major
Starfield and all
announcements?
that.
Yeah, okay, we'll talk about that in the next section.
Yeah.
So back to Star Citizen.
Yeah.
I did want to make a quick note that we're at about $1.6 million so far in the Alien Week. It's fairly early in Alien Week already, so that's pretty good. And I got to do this because I told Fastcard earlier, so I gotta make sure to mention it. I did go forward in the year, and I thought a lot about where they're going to end up. I think in terms of funding, since I'm talking about funding, I think they're going to end up just short of last year, but it's very, very uncertain because there was no CitizenCon last year, and there is one this year. So,
oh no, they're going to be.
To me, it all rides on how much of a push they get from CitizenCon, and that all depends on what they announce.
They got this.
I already factored in them getting a bunch of money from CitizenCon, and it's still left them a little bit short, but I don't know if I factored in them getting enough, if you know what I mean.
Did you factor in them getting all of the money?
Yeah, right. So we'll see. I did also mention that it's so close. Like I said that I think that they'll end up about 76 million when they were at 79 last year. It's close enough that even a slight improvement in enthusiasm or one more ship sale than they had last year are enough, probably.
I got the
Hello,
Flash.
Flash.
He's cute.
That's kind of adorable.
I like him. Look at his little smile. Look at his little smile.
He's cheeky. He's got quite the grin there.
Love it. I mean, we've known this for years, and we've said this for years. CIG do not have a money problem. Period.
No.
It's just
a lot less. And this is the thing is though. One of the things that during the pandemic, their funding's been a lot better. Of course.
Yeah.
They have hired a ton of people. I think they're over 700 now. So that's going to be, that's really allowed them to continue that expansion, the increase in funding. So,
Noskavian, 2022. If you want to attend the Squadron 42 launch CitizenCon, your best bet is 2022.
Or
and if not 2022, then 2023. And if not 2023, then your best bet is 2024.
They're getting to the point where they're actually finishing chapters now to like done.
Yeah.
So I don't see it being more than, I can see them not being able to release it next year. I could see that possibly happening. It depends how much polish they need once the chapters are actually done.
I think if we don't get it next year, we will at least get an announcement for early the year after. Because I think if they don't make it for next year, they're going to just miss like polish on a couple things that's holding them back, right?
Yeah. It would be so great in Los Angeles for there to be for them to walk out on stage, Chris to walk out on stage with Mark Hamill and be like, "Yeah, Squadron's coming."
Yeah. You know what, Noskavian? I am not a fan of flying at all. But it's something I need to get over with. I do plan on going. I want to go. I want to be there. I want to be... Honestly, I don't even want to be there for the Squadron 42 announcement. Like, that'll be cool, but that's peanuts to me. I want to be there to see, like, Jake again and Disco and, like, everyone.
Yeah.
I just want to see.
We had a really
people
good
again.
time in LA last time.
Yeah. I just want to see. Literally, I want to see my friends again. And if Squadron 42 comes as well, then we'll just all be as happy as pickled pears in a. Yeah.
Why are pickled pears happy?
Because they're pears, and they've been pickled. Pickled pears.
Oh no, you're
Pickled
losing it.
Pears. Man, how long have you known me, Eric? How long? Two questions. How long have you known me, and have I ever had it?
6.5 years, and maybe for a few months here and there.
Is Jake back yet?
Don't think so.
Well,
we have to go. We have to go down anyway in order to come back up with Jake. So
yeah, but we got to know when Jake's here. Was there anything else Star Citizen this week?
it's Alien Week.
Yeah, it's Alien Week. What's next? What's next? Pickled bears, yes, even better than pickled pears.
I would like to see something this week about
The
the Ben and
Gattac.
Merchantman, but I don't know if we will.
I think it's too early. We
think it
already
is
talked
too.
for a while about the Gattac or Rylen.
The Merchantman is actually one of my most. I don't even have one, and it's one of my most anticipated ships because I love the ship design on that ship. Just love it to death. It is so different from everything else,
Can you imagine
and
a
it's got
merchantman reveal?
gigantic guns on the front of it.
Yeah. Can you imagine a merchantman reveal this year at CitizenCon?
I could definitely see them doing that. They got what, 4 months? They could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
when it's on the
Jake.
schedule for.
Jake, I'm ready.
Hi.
Hi. Oh no, he's joined the Star Citizen cast. Ah!
Hey,
Are
look
you
at
burning
that!
it?
Look
Is
at
it
that,
like
Jake!
Vampire in
Oh
the,
my
in the
God.
sun?
Look at that, Jake!
I'm
No-
Eric.
Nothing's broken. And
Except
Eric's
I'm
shiver.
Eric.
But you know what? Give me
It's a little
some
misaligned, also.
give me some credit. Come on, this is better than it
Okay.
used to be.
Right.
Like years ago, this would have
Right.
set us out down for a year or two.
Yep. Oh, that's a fact.
Jake, while you're here, because you're here on the Star Citizen side of things. No. Can I ask you just one question?
Okay.
How are
you can. Whether I'll answer is
I know,
another question.
How are you enjoying working for CIG? As
Oh,
as
great
one of
question.
us, for a long time, who has moved
Fast
in.
car, this is why I had to leave.
How are you enjoying it, Jake?
I'm having a great time. It's hard work in the best way.
Dave, you missed Xylo literally showering Jake with compliments on
Yeah,
Star
he
Citizen.
sucked.
No, it's because I have childs that have to be watched over.
You know.
Childs.
Childs.
Yeah. Roadmap's about ready for the next publish, Kimmy.
Ooh,
Nice.
I'm
Ooh.
efficient, man.
apparently.
Are those gyoza?
The pot sticker.
So
Oh,
yes.
nice. Yeah, basically. So David, are we gonna switch over streams like we're
Um,
supposed to?
So here's I think we've covered the Star Citizen stuff this week, right?
Yeah, we're good. We're
We're
good.
good. We've covered all the Star Citizen news. Unless Jake, is there anything you'd like to announce? Cool. So
I had to
here,
think about it.
that's all good. Here's what's good. It's not every day that we get a CIG employee on our Star Citizen show, even if it's only for 12 seconds. Here's the plan.
Okay.
We are going to end this stream so that it creates its own individual Star Citizen one. Then we're going to immediately start a new stream, and then we're going to start figuring out what we're going to cover for the game stuff. So
Yeah.
hold the phone.
Yeah, we will literally be immediately, instantly back.
Immediately we